James, and together with Josh, Andy and Matt, we'll be presenting our cross-platform mobile app, Zeal. Zeal is a social photography challenge app, which more broadly is a platform to connect people with mutual creative interests looking to challenge themselves or develop a new skill as part of an engaging social group. If you're looking to improve an existing skill or pick up a new one, we believe that doing so with others increases accountability, which is really helpful for encouraging consistent participation, and it's this that Zeal aims to facilitate. We chose photography due to its inclusivity as a medium. The ubiquity of smartphones means that people of many diverse backgrounds and abilities can all capture photos and engage with friends and strangers across the world. Over the last 2 weeks, we've been creating a prototype for iOS and Android, which we're really excited to share with you today. So let's take a look. Here we are at the login page of our app, where I can choose to either log in or register via Firebase authentication. High level, the app consists of photography groups, each containing a set of related challenges to which users may post photos and see others' submissions. Once logged in, we arrive at the dashboard, the home screen of the app, which is the jump-off point for finding or creating groups and keeping track of upcoming challenge deadlines. App-level user information is fetched from Firebase Firestore and stored in Redux, with a selector now populating the list of active challenges in the groups I have joined. Before getting to them, I'd like to see what other groups I can join, and I can do this by navigating to the Discover Groups section. Here we have a list of all the open photography groups, which I can search to find what I'm looking for. Now if I press on my selection, I'm taken to the page for that group, showing me the group information and its challenges along with their deadlines. On joining this group, I now have the option to contribute, though with this one almost finished, I best go and start my own. If I go to the Create Group screen, I can input the group name, description, frequency of challenges, start date, and a challenge set. After creating the group, we'll be taken to the My Groups page, where I can check the topics and deadlines of the group that I've just created. With that starting next week, I'll go back to the dashboard to view my active challenges, and let's go into my 3D printing group. While the sharing of media is a focus of the app, to incentivize engagement, we restrict the viewing of other users' submissions until after you've contributed one yourself. You can see here that I cannot enter the gallery for the first challenge, but could for the second that this account has already posted to. The third is the active challenge, so I can choose to submit. On a physical device, this screen has access to the camera through the use of Expo Camera. However, being on a simulator, I'll have to use something from the gallery. After my post is uploaded, I can now see the gallery of all submissions, how people interpreted the brief, and get some inspiration for my future shots. I'll also select my favourite. Before logging out, I fancy updating my profile. So if I go to the profile view, here I can change my username, email, or profile photo. So now let's log out, and I'll pass you over to Josh, who's going to talk about our tech stack.
Thanks, James. We knew early on that our app should have the user at the heart of everything. Displaying the current challenges and My Group screen should be tailored to each user with upload feeds corresponding to the groups that they're a part of. Our back-end requirements therefore included user authentication, cloud storage for images, and a database to keep track of the relationships between users, groups, challenges, and submissions. After a short but steep learning curve, we found the malleability of Google's Firebase Firestore to be a great fit for our requirements, especially given the short project timeframe. It's easier to scale over time and less rigid than a SQL database, meaning that we could alter database design as and when we wanted to implement new features. Due to the scope of the app, we knew that we would build Zeal for mobile. On the front end, the UI needed to be clear and smooth, and we wanted users to enjoy interacting with different buttons, tabs, and screens. Because of this, we made use of the popular React Native, which meant that we could integrate with the likes of React Navigation, React Redux, and a whole host of other packages. One package, Expo, which is designed for making universal native apps, meant that we could develop and view the app in real time, despite some of us being on iOS and others on Android. Expo's camera and Expo's image picker meant we could make use of features already on the user's phone. As the user navigates around the app, decisions they make would result in the need to update information on other screens. After researching state management, we chose Redux to help maintain in-app consistency by having a single source of truth. And after a healthy amount of refactoring, this new technology became responsible for keeping essential user information consistent across the app. I'll now pass you over to Andy to talk about some of the challenges we faced.
Initially, we wanted to design an app that hosted a range of challenge-based topics like fitness, creativity, and productivity. However, this scale was unrealistic given our short time frame, so we picked creativity as the focus for our minimum viable product. Specifically, photography challenges, as viewing and sharing pictures can be so captivating, and anyone with a smartphone can participate. After defining our MVP and seeing the long list of tasks ahead, we initially split up to work on the different parts individually. However, this approach meant that there was some confusion over data structures and how certain parts of the app would work. We then decided to take a step back and collectively work on the foundations of the app as a group. Despite this being a bit of a bottleneck, this helped us avoid merge conflicts, have a better collective understanding of our tech stack, and establish a scalable code base that would save time later on. As mentioned before, we use React Native Expo as our front-end framework for its relative ease across universal platform development. Inevitably though, cross-platform issues did come up, mostly when relying on third-party packages, and we had to identify and debug these issues early on to maintain support for both iOS and Android users. Something that was difficult to correct in the time frame, but moving forward there are still some issues to be refactored for Android. Coding as a group remotely, we reached peak lockdown when an unspoken competition began to emerge. The fastest person to create and post a new Zoom link won delicious Zoom points. Anyway, Matt will now tell you about our plans for further development and our key takeaways from this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. I'm Matthew, and I will talk you through the key takeaways and further developments of our application. Overall, the process of building a fully functional app in the space of 10 days was something we all really enjoyed. We learnt new technologies to create something we're all proud of and grow as junior developers. We learned how to work more effectively as a team, refining how we solve problems, the importance of reading documentation, and producing consistent code. We learned how to consider the complications new features or functionality can bring to an app. Some of the planned further developments include incorporating different media formats, which being audio, video, and text, the ability for users to create their own set of unique challenges, a fully functioning voting system, in-app messaging functionality, and further incentivization. Building Zeal was a great way of bringing together the concepts we learned throughout our time at Northcoders, and we can't wait to develop it further.